Okay, I wasn't supposed to say go, right?
We're good.
Are we living? Hi there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It's Mike J. Dorkson Broad for another episode, for that D&D podcast, for another episode of the Ashen Empire. You can tell that we are a refined and professional podcast by how refined and professional we are. To my right, I believe, hopefully I figured that out right. There's a
You're
green
facing
screen
the
behind
wrong way, though.
I am. To the right. Maybe this is right. I don't know.
Y'all, we're killing
Y'all
it.
TV land can tell me. We have we pull up the thing that we talked about just 30
Jordan.
seconds ago. Jordan, you go. And then you just cast it to your left. To your right. To the left.
I just want to say, like, on my end, you pointed at Zach. Hi, I'm Jordan. Tonight I'll be playing the part of Vashla Stormforge, Dwarven Fighter, Eldritch Knight, Protector of Goats and Sinrathi.
I mean, protector of ungulates, let's say, or the cloven hoofed.
Horned individuals.
Oh, I'm next. Hi, I'm Aaron. I'll be playing the part of Kaith Dustwake, the person who is very sure in all of their actions, regardless of whether the party agrees.
Next up is Zachary. You're hard to hear. Yeah.
Well, that's because it's coming in weird speakers then, isn't it? Hello, Internet. I'm Zach. I will be playing, not Thrognar, the other barbarian of mine. Yorha, the revenant barbarian / dragon husband.
Awesome.
Hi. Oh. Did you?
Nope, you first. Because you're a player.
Yeah, usually. Hi, I'm Adam. I'll be playing Fritz tonight, the bearer of gifts for all things large and stompy.
Cool.
And last but not least.
Hi, I'm Andrew Otway, and tonight I will be reprising my role as Senrathi Cobb, they of hope and power.
All right. So, if you are using the Twitch extension, or you should, like, if you mouse over Twitch, you should see the Twitch stream viewing thing. There should be icons that pop up over people's heads. Now, the icons are not in the right spot. But if you click on them, they do stuff. Does anyone see that? Or is it just me?
No, I don't.
I'm using the web app. Is that supposed to work?
Yeah, I'm using the web and I can see everything. And I don't know why everyone else is shaking their heads like, no. Okay.
No, wait, I see it when I mouse over the thing.
Oh, I see. Everything's like shifted really far over on my screen now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I put it manually by hand. So.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Also, you have the name of the dwarf fighter wrong.
No, I do. I totally have the name of the dwarf fighter wrong.
What?
It's fine.
Yeah, I don't.
Yep.
It's fine. I trust all y'all
So,
that it's working.
If you mouse over the thing, it gives you like a rough approximation of the character, and then it says, it says Vashla.
You might have things blocking too. If you have add-ons in your browser, they might be blocking the stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I have that. So I can't see it, I guess.
I know uBlock won't block it, but I've been having issues with Ghostery. But yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Yay! So that this is roleplay character sheets extensions. We will get the icons in a more correct location at some point in the future. In the meantime, enjoy.
Oh shit! I see it now. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I haven't put in all the details for all the characters yet. If you want, you can just go into our Twitch gubbins and then extensions and configure, and you can put literally whatever you want to for the character sheet.
This thing really doesn't plan very well for screen size. Like, you have the window too small, it just pages off the screen.
It's still in like super early alpha, I think, but this
Yeah.
will be valuable stuff to tell them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So that's live. Let's go. If you like it, they're like in Discord someplace. They're like a one generational. What's the word? A friend of the pod. So, yeah. So we are here to play Knights of the Ashen Empire. Last time on Knights of the Ashen Empire, we had the players wander into the middle of a fort, and I believe that there was a bag ending up over-ending. Something of that nature?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's briefly recap the events if someone would like to do that.
I think I was outside the fort being a distraction.
You were shooting fire arrows around.
Yeah, that sounds
Yes.
like me.
Tracks. That tracks. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in character.
Yeah, the rest of us were in Fritz's bag
Mm-hmm.
of holding, right? And Fritz runs into the fort shouting something about an attack by bandits, oh god, an attack by bandits. And runs into a room filled with really tall humanoids in armor, dumps us on the table out of the bag, and I believe that's where we cut last time.
Yeah, there were two of the knights eating at a table, and I dumped the bag onto one of them. And you,
That's right. You dumped us all
Yeah.
on the night.
And Yorha was gonna be riding the anvil first out of the
Yeah.
bag.
Yes. The internal workshop of the bag, everything's coming out because it just got dumped out. So like all of the things that we put in and the various bits,
Literally
pieces of
everything.
thing,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
and like,
the
I mean-
workshop, the goblin family we have down there that's forging weaponry for us.
Like,
All of
The
this is coming out.
stowaways.
thinking through even the physics of it, like you're dumping a volume of gas, like CO2, oxygen, and whatever the hell else. Like,
Mhm.
like that should be fairly equivalent to a small bomb, but it's D&D, so I mean, hand wave the physics away, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's the conundrum of like the thrown foldable boat. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what does that do in flight? Is there conservation of momentum, in which case it like slows way down, or is it like does it all come out at speed and we all smash this dude really hard?
I think we're playing simulationism to like a game that's actually pretty abstract in a
true.
large
That's
number
fair.
of ways.
Yeah, and right, this is what's the word I'm looking for here?
Peak D&D.
Yes, thank you. Right, so I had an encounter that I had generated, and that is gone because I refreshed my browser, and that's what happens. So keep talking, stretch out a little bit.
We've
one
Clearly
thing-
defeated all of them. There's
Yeah.
no more encounter.
Yeah. Also, I think Kaith is outside of the fort, so you might want to move yourself, Aaron.
You're on level 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Where is me? Oh,
there's a fort. I love
Oh,
that
that
my
sounds-
mini is the smallest one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing. You can just make them bigger.
Zach can't actually. Zach can only
No,
move
I can't.
around.
Yeah.
The GM has power
Yeah,
over
yeah.
size.
Oh, in that case,
There we go.
there, you're 1 square. And we got there's so much housekeeping to do, but there's only so much time in the week, and we have jobs. So yeah, we're gonna do this, and that's what's gonna be like that. All right, cool. So yeah, you drop yourselves out of, or Fritz drops you all out of the bag, literally onto this table between two of these tall black armored figures, similar to the knights that you fought last week. They've got that sort of black metallic-looking armor that covers all of their flesh. That was, if you remember correctly, it turned out to be kind of like this lobster shell-esque looking metallic thingy that covered, the creamy, rotty insides. You're not really. Oh, did they eat something? Was it like super disgusting? Like they didn't actually remove their helmets; they just kind of like ported
Yeah,
into
it's
their,
like
their
shoved
helmet
up.
holes.
Well, no, it was under.
Wait.
They like stuck
Yeah.
it under the like
Put
chin.
it,
Yeah. Yeah, that's super gross. I like that. And where were we with that? There was something. Yeah, so they like let out startled noises and like back up away from the table and grab for their weapons. And there's this one in the corner that wasn't next to you two. 'Cause I said there were three in there, right?
yes.
So the third is off in the corner by the stairs up to the edge of the fort, and starts hollering down like, who's there? What's that? What's going on? Did you all like? Were you?
Can I bluff this guy?
This would be a time for, bluffing or sneak attacks, as you will.
Like I said, I literally upended the bag right in someone's face. So it wasn't like we neatly landed on a table here. This guy has up to what, one bag of holdings worth of items on him.
Mm-hmm. A giant
Okay.
anvil on his
At
face.
least one
Wrote
Yorha,
out-
one anvil.
Yeah, wrote out Doctor Strangelove style.
Gotcha. Okay.
Up to 500 pounds worth of items.
Up to 500 pounds.
People.
Like, do you consider that an attack, so to speak?
I would
Are you
assume
attempting to
so,
injure,
yes.
or are you simply just attempting to? You know what? That sounds like a what's the blades verb for this? Hinder.
Skirmish?
Effectively. Wait, you're not. I mean, are you attacking with the contents of the bag?
I would assume the contents of the bag would do something to him, if not entangle him with everything. If up to doing damage, yes.
All right, let's.
It might be a save
I would-
situation for him.
Create an
We'll hit with an
advantage
improvised
here.
weapon. We'll treat it as d6 damage and disadvantage if you do.
Nice.
So that's what, it's just straight up dexterity roll or something.
If it's with a ranged weapon, which I assume the contents of a bag of holding emptied out, sure, we'll go with a ranged weapon.
I can't just roll a stat. Oh, yeah, I can.
Yeah, you can just roll. Oh,
That's actually a terrible roll.
not all. Not great. Not great.
I was trying to figure out if you rolled 2d6 by mistake.
Is this with advantage since it's a surprise?
Mark
Sure, why
XP.
Yeah,
So
mark
first
XP.
mark XP.
Well, not much better, but at least
Marginally
13.
better.
Hey, that's.
I mean,
pretty
if he
decent.
wasn't expecting it, it's flat-footed, right?
He
God.
was sitting.
Yorha, what's your Thaco?
My Thaco.
Yorha would have one too.
Right. Yeah, no, I think at level, Barbarian, level 4, my Thaco is going to be 17.
Soft thacos or hard thacos? What do you
Right.
prefer?
I think I'm an attack bonus.
Okay. Attack bonus is just slamming a guy's +6.
+6. Okay, that's interesting. We'll see. We'll see how this works. All right. And one of these for my stats. Thank you, Roll20 Compendium, for being so useful.
I said sarcasm.
No, that's legiticasm. Legitasm. Well, come on now. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Oh, whatever. We're going with it. All right. So, the 13. So, the heavily armored figure kind of like stumbles back at the rate under the weight of the assault. And like, although it doesn't appear to like, it manages to dodge out of the way of most of the heavy stuff. Like the anvil comes to the crashing the ground in front of it, but it certainly is waylaid by the excess of tools and various gubbins that you have in the bag. Like a half dozen goblins scurry away to hide under like wagon wheels and stuff.
They got
Wearing
masks
scuba
with,
gear,
like,
yeah.
really long snorkel.
Right. There are doves, right? And I don't remember putting doves in the bag to the best of my knowledge, but there's like a dozen doves fly out of the bag.
I mean, the goblins have been grabbing them. They don't have any
Right.
dove hens,
Yeah.
but they just have a bunch of male doves.
I thought you were going to say a ditch that falls out.
No, they're all live doves, and like that's what we'll go with. And then like potted trees and plants and stuff are also falling out of there, like an entire miniature
Topiary garden.
dovecocks. Yeah. Topia, like this minor ecosystem comes tumbling out afterwards.
Clearly did not recall putting all this in here. I'm guessing it's probably just Keith stashing things in my bag when I wasn't looking.
Hey, if you
Oh my God, Keith, what do you like? Like, do you collect shiny things?
No,
Or
there's
is there...
fur and like mouse bones and whatnot that Keith has been eating and then just like yakking up in the garbage bag.
No, so I have a question. If you have enough plants in a bag of holding, can you breathe?
That was my intimation.
So,
yes.
Okay.
is
No,
there
I was
enough
just thinking-
sunlight to keep the plants alive?
Okay.
Well, you
How-
haven't
how-
gotten to the artificial sun yet, so keep
I was
shaking.
gonna say, how much is an artificial sun?
That's a bit-
So no, I think Keith would probably find like, those really good like smooth rocks. She kind of likes those a lot. And like particularly interesting twigs, and like
And caltrops, just lots of caltrops for some reason.
caltrops, and also I believe her reasoning would be leaves that tell a story, and there's some of those in there. It's some ranger
Nice.
bullshit.
And a bunch of alchemist fire.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, and there's like a significant amount of burning coal.
It's gonna be so hard to pack back up after this.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to abandon like half of it. We're gonna have to catch those goblins to put them back in.
Right.
It's
There's
gonna be
a
all
goblin conservation amount, right? You can't. Those are too small to let go. You've got to go catch them and bring them back first.
Well,
kind of fair-
we can't just release them into the environment because that's an invasive species waiting to happen.
What happens
Right.
if they reproduce over the 500-pound weight limit?
They
It
can't.
becomes a baby cannon.
It's-
Didn't they like eat each other at one point?
I mean, now they do.
That's what
Thanks.
the dove
I mean,
farm
it-
was for
it-
that originally.
There's a complete absence of peahens, so they got to eat something.
Right. There was a nuclear cat explosion that occurred, and the goblins come out wearing masterwork cat leather hats. Because that's the economy now. So
Spikes.
we've traveled somewhat far afield from the hazardous terrain. What is the word? Difficult terrain. Difficult terrain. Did we not count for that? Like, why is there not perfectness for everything? Difficult hatch marks. Just right click and just assume I want a thing. Okay, pretend there's difficult terrain in front of the guy while I figure that out. In the meantime, so oh wow, orange hatch marks. I like it. So is there an activity that you all are participating in after dumping the bag on them? Like, are you just jumping directly into the Stabinations? Or I believe that Sinrathi, they have hope and peace and love?
Power.
Power. I was going to do had a thing.
Well, I mean, you just said that like the guy in the corner was like, "What's that over there?" And then I was going to do like the other half of the Han Solo bit.
Okay. Do it.
Well, but I mean, like I already know these things are rot, so I'm not gonna like give them the time of day. So, I think Yorha probably gets the first swipe. But when it's Sinrathi's turn, I have a new meta magic thing that I've actually bothered to read the rules for.
Full Death Blossom.
Pretty much.
I hope they don't remake that. That's a Last Starfighter for 80s kids. Oh wow, these are super nice. I wish I would have found these before.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm happy to cede priority to Yorha if they want to sneak attack. Do
you Doctor Strangelove your way into one of these Rot Knights?
So I imagine that this is not a deployment method. This is a deployment method that Yorha has seen before, right? Like
Roll history.
in all of his days. All right, we'll roll some history. Let's do this. I continue to rocket history. Boom.
Perfect. No, keep going.
All right, so definitely have seen this before. We used to do this all the time, right? Like they crafted us bags of holding, and we would just put whole whole battalions of crazy buff barbarian dudes inside of them and just shoot them out at people.
Launch them from catapults.
I'm
Yeah.
imagining that Yorka's explaining this in the bag, and we're like glaring at him to shut up and not take up all the air.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Using a valuable air. Like, you can feel the bag sort of collapsing and deflating while he talks. And yeah, so they used to just like put us on a trebuchet. They had specially made trebuchets for these, and they would launch the bag, and then we had a special set of clamps that would open the bag. And we don't have any of those clamps now, so we're gonna have to like Fritz is going to have to open the bag from the outside, but we've done this before. I have totally done this, and so I'm going to stand on the anvil in such a way that the anvil is going to come out, and I'm going to be standing on top of the anvil with my axe at the ready.
Gotcha.
Here, right?
That's
Yeah.
like, what, 1 stress for that flashback?
Yes.
I mean, I think the 4 means he just gets like his pitch and yaw wrong.
Oh yeah,
Right?
no, I'm fully anticipating like coming out, sliding,
Well, you can
and
split a
landing
decimal.
under. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
So-
how many traumas does Yorha have at this point?
Well, the thing is, they reset. Right? Like
I don't
cyclical.
know. I think it just means you keep dying again.
at
Went
some
past
point,
max
Yorha is the whole, right? Yorha is not like a living person anymore,
Yeah.
so it doesn't count.
Are you the memory of Yorha given flesh?
Mhm.
That's like a whole Wraith campaign right there.
A little
If
bit.
Yorha has a shade, does that mean Fritz is throwing shade?
Good night, everybody.
Yes.
We're out. We can't. No.
Why does my beard grow like this? I mean, where were we? Yes, throwing shade. So like this is where I give you like a soft move or a hard move, but I think that rolling a 4 in your history, like you get advantage, but no one else does.
Okay.
I'll punish other people.
I'll
for
take
your
it.
4 rolls. Yeah.
I'll take it.
But yeah,
You
so go
deserve
ahead and attack if you strange love out with your axe at the ready and turn to page 41 and roll 1d20. If you have another action, just let me know.
Yeah, so I will absolutely like ride this. I'm riding the anvil out with the intent of like, I'm sure I didn't talk this over with Fritz ahead of time and just assume that it's like one of the rules of engagement, like how you empty the bag, right? And so like I'm gonna be like surfing out on this anvil with my axe at the ready. So yeah, should I roll? What should I roll? Like, tell me.
To hit.
Okay.
I think it's your normal attack, yeah.
Okay. So here's a question, Mike. Does the axe count as, or does the anvil count as a two-handed weapon?
Are you wielding the anvil or is the anvil wielding you?
That's a really good question, and I feel like we're getting fairly philosophical at this point. Mostly, I want to know if I can use like my power attack ability on this thing.
I thought you were attacking with your axe.
You said you had
Well,
axe in hand.
I do have an axe in hand. Okay,
Right, so
fine.
are you gonna-
I
are
will
you-
ride the anvil out and like surf it to a stop, and then smash the guy with an axe after throwing a one-liner at him. That
So
sounds
do you
way
wanna-
more fun.
Alternatively, you could like grab the anvil and like do something physically impossible, but would happen in a cartoon where you smash the anvil over the person's head with like a 360 no scope.
Hey, have
That's
you
kind of
seen
what I was
Bloodborne?
thinking, right? Like I fall out of the bag and I'm like on the anvil and I sort of like shift it into position and then it slams into the dude using
Okay.
the extra force coming out of this thing.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Okay. If it's an anvil with like, you know, some of them have like a hole in the middle for whatever the hell reason. If you in midair put the haft or whatever of your axe through there and then use it as like an extra weight to swing your axe down with like stupid force.
So like Bloodborne this thing real
Yeah,
hard?
basically I'm thinking Bloodborne
Okay.
really hard right now.
All right. I'm into it. All right. I'm full on raging. I'm using my power attack ability and let's see how this goes. Boom.
Okay, so
What do all of
presumably,
these mean to me?
you want the
Okay.
15.
I'm assuming I want the 15 as well. Yes. Does 15 hit?
So why do you have a -5 modifier there?
Because I'm using my ability of Great Weapon Master to take a -5 penalty on my attack roll and do 10 extra damage if I hit.
It's power attack.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's power attack, but there's only one setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this tall knight dude, who's got the black chitinous metallic armor, brings up its left arm in a similar defensive maneuver to the cavalier sort of folks that you had encountered previously, and a glowing black shield kind of wards off your attack.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine as I come out of the bag, I'm sort of like the overhand diving chop, and I'm going into Super Saiyan like in real time as I'm coming down, and then it slams into his forearm, and I'm shaken and knocked backwards.
And like it's full on Captain America like Invisa Shield sort of thing, right? Like it projects out, and then like it pushes you forward and draws from an empty belt with no weapon on it another spectral sword, another spectral weapon.
Great, I'm super into that.
All right, let's toss initiatives out there for us.
What's up? I'm not. Oh, not fast. Okay. My dexterity is very high.
Yeah.
It turns out D20s are just a plateau of chaos.
Yeah, I mean, when your range is 1 to 20, the +4 modifier is not super useful in a lot of ways.
Dinger.
Appreciative.
It's crit initiative.
Look at the slow ass dwarf going first.
I mean, it's momentum, right?
Yeah.
You know the dwarf is slow.
Do you want to like ride Yorha out? Is that what happens? So,
So as he's like falling out, I'm running up his back with my hammer out.
Also,
Nice.
Yorha, she's still in mourning. Come on. Have some decorum here.
Yorha's spoken for.
I know. You're a married man, Yorha.
Till death do us part.
You've died multiple times, so that means you're apart, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And that really depends on how the dragon sees the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much say I get in the continuation of this relationship.
What I really, really want to be true is like that spooky acolyte who raised Yorha, who isn't anyone that we've ever seen on screen, is actually just like the dragon polymorphed.
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
I just really want it to be revealed that like this whole time Yorha is talking shit and he's not married to a dragon.
Well, my brain is basically Swiss cheese.
More likely than you think.
It's possible I'm misremembering. Just a one night stand with some person who actually just had silver hair.
No, you
That's
you
all I
had a
remember,
one
right?
night stand with a dragonborn, but it's like you're not married.
But that was like thousands of years ago, and they're dead. Like that just didn't happen. Yeah.
Convince them that it was
That ritual
married.
basically means we're married. In one of my previous
somebody's got to say
lifetimes.
if you know what I mean. All right, let's give you all turns because that is what we do. Nice people world at turn and turn. And where did Keith go?
Hi.
Donde está the Keith? All the way down there. At turn.
¿Dónde está the pájaro? What's bird?
That was an actual question. I don't know.
No, that I just told you. I said
Oh, pájaro? Oh, I'm sorry.
no. I said what's
Bashla,
bird, not what's bird. Sorry.
8.1, about 201. Geek Garden Yorha is 7.12. Man, it'd be great if this like did it automatically.
I mean, I think if you populate the list and then we roll, it does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe we
if
gotta
you-
wait
if
for you to
you-
put stuff in.
There's an
Yeah, if
order
you
of
do
operations
first.
to it.
Yeah, if you control A and then do the add to tracker, then it does it. Yeah.
Because I got a
Sounds-
list and it said you wanted to send the result to the turn tracker,
Mhm.
but no valid token was selected. So it also could be there's a disconnect between our character sheets and our tokens.
Oh wait. I
Oh,
have an idea.
well,
Mhm.
we're gonna have a
Testing. Oh yeah, it totally updates. Okay, if you click your token before you click initiative, it automatically does the thing. Like it already automatically updated.
Oh, really?
But we need to be in the turn tracker, and we need to, yeah.
So we're gonna have an IT session one of
Yep.
these days, where like on a lazy Saturday
Well, and
morning
we
at 8
can
a.m.
we can mess with the Roll20 integration thing, right? Like the thing that we
Yep.
had.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can do a bunch of this stuff. It'll be
We
fun.
should do a tech stream.
I mean,
Like
yeah,
dress up, drinking
demystifying.
coffee and just fiddling with stuff. That
Yes.
might actually be like a fun behind the scenes thing.
Coffee.
Ooh.
Coffee
I would
beer.
have coffee with rum chata in it probably because that is delicious.
Vashla. She of steel and faith, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The tide of steel.
I think like Steel and Fury, or
Steel
like
and Fury.
Steel and Discipline.
Basically the opposite of me.
What wouldst thou liketh to do? Liketh? That's how it works.
Attack with. I'm gonna use it two-handed, like instead of the hammer and my shield.
Okay.
But I suppose I don't get advantage for jumping off of Yorha.
Sure you do.
Or
That's
Okay.
awesome. Take it. I mean, I just blew my opportunity, so you might as well, right?
Is it cinematic? Then yes.
yeah, okay.
Are you like coming through
Oh,
like
shit.
the white flames of my
It didn't matter. So unless Sunrathi like blessed me before I ran out.
Do you want to roll a d4 and still miss?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't make it to ACs with what you got.
Higher than 15.
Yeah.
Oh
at
yeah.
least.
No.
Yeah, they're at least a 16.
Bummer. Okay.
So you jump off of Yorha and bring your hammer down. Bring the hammer down, says Thor. And it clangs off of this that semi-spectral darkness about an inch before you contact the knight's armor. Sinarathi.
So yeah, I read the meta magic entry for Twin Spell, which turns my limited resources into slightly less limited resources. So I'm going to cast your favorite and mine, Guiding Bolt. Except I'm going to also expend one sorcery point, and choose a second target that I repeat the spell against. Which seems like a worthwhile investment of resources.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to be like the bolt in this case is going to be like a similar hammer just to keep the theme going here. So I will shoot the first one at the target that has eluded mine allies thus far.
Mm-hmm.
So push button. Does an 18 hit?
So describe the situation.
So I've popped out of the bag. I think I'm not going anywhere. I'm purposefully trying to like hide behind my meaty allies.
Gotcha.
And just like basically it's going to be one and then like probably pivot and shoot the other one at the target behind me. And like I don't think I'm saying anything to these things because they're rot. I've fought one before. This is just doing my job kind of thing. Like Senrathi's very like professional at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, like this is work, and this is work that Senrathi's good at. But it's like, all right, it's time to shut up and just get the job done, right?
Yeah, and I'm sorry. You described what the spell looks like. Did you?
Yeah,
can you
so
get
it's
one more time?
it's like a hurling
The
hammer,
javelin of fire.
it-
This one's a hammer.
Yeah, I think it's just like effectively just whatever seems most appropriate at this point in time. So like at this point, I'm trying to shatter a shield, right?
Gotcha.
So
gotcha.
it's just like a war
I
hammer.
briefly
like,
thought of you of like holy fire,
oh,
Deadshot, bullseye, just kind of like flinging stuff like police baton or whatever, and like pots. Yeah. So you hit him, and the same attacks for both, or one for both?
It's 2 different targets.
Do you have to roll twice or just once?
I'll roll again.
Okay. You do the first one center mass.
Awesome.
Pew.
And yeah, it's 10 radiant. The next person to attack that target gets advantage. The one behind me, I crit.
What?
Twice.
No. You don't
What?
just crit. You crit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have advantage, but yeah, I crit both dice because why not make a 1 in 400 shot, right?
Right. Yeah.
And deal 30 damage to a target.
Okay. So like, while I put down hit points for the one that's not obliterated utterly where it stood, why didn't you talk about the one that you obliterated utterly where it stood?
So, I mean, I think the first one, like, it doesn't actually hit center of mass. Like, it glances off that shield, and maybe we see some of, like, the holy, like, fire or light or whatever just, like, eroding the spectrally darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Just, like, kind of eating away at it, dissolving it, and, like, maybe we actually see some, like, darkness, like, hit the ground and evaporate or something.
Gotcha.
The one behind... I think was the person who had like their helmet slightly up to like just shove an entire chicken leg and then pull out the blank bone. But like I actually get under the armor and like right around neck level. And maybe this one is a javelin and it just like goes straight into like, it's not flesh. Like I think it's like just neck armor or something, like thinner plate underneath the chin of the helm. But it like catches them right there and just like takes them back. Well, did you ever play Fear?
Oh, hell yes.
You remember the railgun?
Yeah.
I think I staple this fucker to the wall.
Well, so in the stapling, like all the atoms like explode out in the other color. Like they do that photo negative thing and just cease to exist.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm quite literal when I mean, so like it explodes. Like whatever was containing it is no longer containing it, but it doesn't like poof into rot dust. It poofs into like ash.
And like the darkest dungeon enthusiast in me wants to be like these things can be beaten, they can be broken, and someone is phoning me, so I'm just gonna hang that up real quick.
Look at this bold attack. I can't do one. That's amazing. Somebody want to sing as if
so
no,
a friend of mine at work has a photograph of the guy from Nickelback holding up the stupid photo. And then the photo inside that is her posing with that idiot from Nickelback. It's amazing. Yes.
That's awesome.
It's so good.
Have you
These
seen...
nightmares creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Yeah, it's also the second time in a week that I've referenced that on this podcast, so.
Yeah. Have you seen God, somebody did like an edit of it, and it just says, "Look at this graph," and he holds up a bar graph, and it just stays on that shot for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, it like cuts to his face, and then it cuts to the graph, and yeah,
it's just slow. Look at this graph, and then like it's
I find it now.
It's pretty amazing. I like it. Also, I accidentally gave someone to do. Are you familiar with the shitty flute?
Yeah, we went over that.
We had like a whole shitty flute episode, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a shitty flute version of the Black Parade on, and everyone at the office is going to murder me because I left it on a computer that they can't unlock and walked away.
Justifiable. That's justifiable.
That's a good way to resign. Like
Yes.
just for future reference, just like see you in hell. Call IT.
So yeah, you it goes to 11 and explodes. And it's like Metroid. It's like Samus dies in Metroid. Or no, it's Mega Man. It's like a Mega Man death. Like we're pow 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 pow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a ash slowly falls to the ground, like capital A ash. We have next on the list is Fritz. Small stature, large of gun, which could be construed in many different ways.
So I think Fritz is still continuing on with this momentum that he had. So I think it was in the previous session I said that he had sort of stepped from table to table in a sort of upward fashion. So basically, he's ramping off still off the table. His jump jet's still firing, and sort of flings himself off the table away from these guys. One exploding in the background, obviously, as he rotates midair, brings the gun about, and fires at the now glowing guy. Right, the other guy has, I don't know, whatever the guiding bolt does.
Yeah, it's
advantage.
But yeah, it's also
so
like a
it's
faint outline.
It's lit up.
Yep.
Yeah, So yeah, let's take a shot at the guy that's glowing.
It's got one of those red targeting overlays.
Yeah, so that's 18.
Nice. And if you asked before, 18 did hit. So you want to narrate what happens? You punched the thing's shield, which was probably maybe Yorha's attack brought it low. Maybe Vashla's attack.
So it definitely was Vashla. So
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't hurt him, but like I spun his helmet around.
there you go.
So yeah, his helmet's canted 90 degrees to the side, and Fritz takes advantage of the eye holes going right through the side of the guy's head and the armor.
You male.
And you're all like, dodge this, boom.
And then you get the sniper cam where you just see his skull cave into the side.
Oh, boom, Sniper the Darkening. Wait, that was a different game entirely. Click that and click this, and you did like 13 damage. Yeah. You did more than 10%.
15.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more than 10. Then they have hit points left. So they could drop down to negative 10, which in D&D is like kill. Or it was in previous editions. So it's... So you have magic. Is your weapon imbued with magic?
It technically is thunder magic, yes.
Do you see it as thunder magic, or do you just consider it ammunition plus? Or plus
No,
plus?
I think there is something that he's done to his gun that enhances the shot, whether it's sort of a magnetic boost like a railgun kind of thing, or something closer to rifling. But yeah, something is imbued in the ammunition though, so it is not just normal.
Okay. So, but it's non-magically enhanced, or is it magically enhanced? Because the magic part is what determines whether or not it like explodes magically or just dies.
Oh, okay. No, I think I've been going mostly non-magical with Fritz, so it is probably not magically inclined. It is technologically inclined.
So your shot blows through the chitinous helmet and empties rot all over the side of the outpost as the creature falls to the ground. Its spectral blade clattering on the dirt and then disappearing. Lady Kaith of House Dustwake.
Hello.
It is thy turn.
I'm here to ask this guardsman up here some rather pointed question.
Does this look like a telephone pole?
Does it hurt when I do this?
You are full on Coraline right now.
I'm going to mark it and then shoot. Hey, how suspicious this is? Look, like I guess I haven't seen what's happening inside, so this is just a person on a parapet who's not one of my people, so he's getting shot. So.
You've also heard like magic and also gunfire.
Yeah, 7 damage if 19 hits.
A 19 does it.
Hooray!
And you don't get any. There's like a after your barb finds its way to tender meat flesh. There's like an after image of that shield that pops up, just way too late.
I've had that moment in so many video games.
Yeah.
You get hit and then you get stuck in the dodge animation afterwards, and then they're already doing another hit, and then by the time like you recover, you're dead. Thanks, Dark Souls. Fuck you.
7 dunk. Okay. Yeah. Then the thing on the wall like recoils, and then like Looks why? Because I shake my head, so of course we've got to refocus everything.
That was unnerving. I like it.
Sorry, the autofocuser is new and I'm playing with it. So yeah, you tag it with the arrow, and it funks into it and it recoils briefly, and there's that shield that goes up afterwards, and it goes from the position that you had shot it into, and goes back to 0, and then tracks to where you shot it in this almost not exactly robotic fashion, and then raises its crossbow towards you.
Okay. As it pans over to me, I'm doing the thing at it. Sticking my
What?
tongue out. Doing I'm sticking my tongue out at it. And
I
also
thought you were
off.
doing eye thing as well.
Yeah, let's do that.
So it fires a crossbow at you.
That's fine.
Presumably a 13 is a miss.
Yeah, it's a miss. Maybe it just hits the ground right in front of me.
Yeah.
It's like a warning
Or
shot or something. Or
you
it's terrible.
you hop away. It's trying to kill you, but Kaith is slippery.
Or you got it in the arm and it has to recalculate its aim based on its musculature being adjusted.
Calibrating.
Oh, good, we're fighting Garrus.
God damn it! You beat
No,
me to
he's
it.
a good shot.
All right, this one's gonna shoot. What is Sinrathi? Roll 1d20 plus 3.
Oh no.
20.
Doofin.
Curiously, that hits.
Ha, nerd. Maybe
You
if you're
get
supposed
stuck
for
with a black barb.
Ew.
And it does not fade away into spectral etherealness. It just stings a lot. And what else? Fritz dropped one too, right?
Yes.
Look at this. Yeah, apparently Nickelback is the way to go. 18 hits the Fritz.
Yes.
All right, you get tagged for 2.
Ow.
Well, you find the barb for yourself because it is there. It is with you. I believe that the shield knights are both dead. Yep. Go ahead and remove list.
Do I want to ask about the third dude up in the corner?
Yeah.
He's going after Yarha.
No, there's another shield knight looking dude.
Over in the top right corner.
Oh, I have a turn order.
I will
No, I
ping
don't see it
him.
at mine.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's-
that's one
he's
after Yorha.
3. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Axe Knight.
Axis.
Oh,
see?
fun.
Yorha, thou art up.
All right. Well, how high up are the crossbow knights?
So they're up on the wall.
Okay.
And so I really liked this map. So I'm using it, but downgrade everything at technology level.
Okay.
Right, these are not fancy stone walls.
What
They're
does the pit become?
a messier, wetter pit.
So it's just a depression at that point. It's just
It's a mud hole.
It's, you can find Yodas inside. The walls are just fortifications, trees chopped down, stuck in the ground with pointy tips. That has earth, put between the. It's wooden mud, right?
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go charge. I can charge in this edition, right? Because I'm not sure I have the speed to make it to Axe Knight in one move, but I'm gonna move and smash him. So is that a thing I can do?
Yeah, I mean, charge sounds great to me.
All right, cool. Zoom back a little bit so I can actually grab my dude. Yeah, so I'm gonna move myself over here. I'm gonna leap across the battlefield and run up the body of the dead. I guess this is the one that turned to ash, right?
That's the one that got no.
Oh,
that's
they
the
got
one
blown
that
up?
got that headshot.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as it's teetering, I'm going to run up its teetering form and leap off and meteor smash into Axe Knight.
Gotcha.
Sounds legit.
And I'm going to give myself advantage on this roll because I always do that.
I think we're super fucked when we go up against Shovel Knight.
Yeah. I'm guessing a 12 does not hit.
A 12 does not hit.
Oh well, I now have his attention.
Yes. So it grabs you out of midair.
Great.
Awesome.
Awesome.
To see how.
Do I want to remind Mike that he gets advantage on this?
Yes, he does.
Do you ever? Thank you. Ooh, there's a block of stuff that I have to read. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll have to do that too. That's not going to hit. That's even worse. Okay. So it grabs you and it tosses you behind it, like, with the intent of like throwing you on the wooden palisade behind it, but like you like tuck and roll or whatever, like I've been killed by that too many times. I know how to dodge out of it.
Yeah, like I know how to like break the hold on the thumb for the giant choke slams. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it reaches like actually can't draw weapons that way. It like reaches at its belt and it draws out like two spectral hand axes sort of things and it clangs them together with a sound that sounds not spectral at all. And utters a cry in deep speech. Keith, from somewhere inside the compound, you hear something shout, "Attend me and remember."
Witness.
Yorha will, as he's sort of picking himself up from the ground, will bellow in like stereo somehow as the light around him sort of flares in challenge.
Gotcha. Vashla.
Well, Yorha seems pretty okay over there with the Axe Knight.
We're just gonna sumo at each other for a while. It's fine.
Thanks to salt and rice.
I think I'll try switching my hammer into a cannon and shooting one of the crossbow knights.
Nice.
Which is, yeah, very great.
The doves take this point to like flutter through the screen.
I'll aim at the north one, I guess.
Okay. Is that another double crit?
Yes.
What the
Nice.
fuck, y'all?
It's only 1 in 400.
What's the odds of it happening twice?
I mean,
So
less than that?
Yeah.
I don't particularly feel like working right now, Aaron.
Andrew, please put on your statistics pants for me.
They're in the other room.
And I think that takes 2 of my ammo, because, like...
What are the odds of that?
Are you grenading it or are you just taking a shot?
No, I'm grenading it.
Okay. Work pants. Very nice. All right. Excuse me. So you are magically imbued, but is your weaponry?
I don't think so. I think Fritz made it just purely mechanically.
Okay. So like this canister of explosives boofs out of your with that great satisfying deep bassy sound where something boofs out of a fairly large cylinder, and it like tumbles a little bit, and like it's a perfect shot, right? And the thing like doesn't go to catch it, but just like kind of moves out of the way a little bit, and it impacts the palisade right next to it, the fortifications right next to it, and it explodes, and it takes like a good chunk of the wall with it.
I really like the idea that it like lands by the thing's feet and it's like, the hell is this? And picks it up.
A soft drink.
It tends to like kick it. It explodes.
It grabs it, but it didn't have the throw it back feet. So.
I think I don't since it was a crit, I mean like just cinematically, I think I would have liked to put like a little bit of thunder magic on it just for aesthetic purposes.
You would like to put some thunder magic on it?
Yes.
Are you the god of hammers or the god of thunder?
Thunder cannons.
Pretty sure Vashli's going to be like the patron saint of goats.
Like that.
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom. Yay! That's so cool.
And there's like little sparks on the wall that are like slowly dying away as the wall crumbles.
This is making for a very cinematic Twitch experience.
Yeah, it's like the whole 4D experience. Yeah, so and it's an excellent shot. And somebody asked about probability. No two people on Earth probably have shuffled the same deck of cards the same way.
It's true.
Mhm.
I think we already talked about that last week.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, well.
I don't think we brought that up though. No,
Wait, what's that?
I don't think we brought it up. That stat or tidbit.
I
I
find
think
that
it was
out.
discussed, but I think it was last year actually.
Wow. Okay. Cool. We've been doing this a while. Yeah. The Sinrathi is next. They of flaming javelins.
So there's 2 targets alive.
There are yes, 3.
Oh, that one survived?
No.
Okay.
I love how that X is like twice the size of the
Yeah.
character. Thanks.
There's one on the western wall.
Huh?
I'm using fancy.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, because
It was under the
Whoa.
initiative tracker. Cool. So there's 3 targets. That means I use a different spell.
gasp.
Let's see. 2d6 fire. That seems like enough. All right. So I will aim 1 bolt at each target, you casting Scorching Ray.
2 or 3.
It's 1 bolt at each of 3 targets.
Gotcha.
Or I could I could have all 3 aim at 1. But this is the southern what's the person?
Water tribe.
Yeah, the southern water tribe. The southern crossbow human.
The one I'm shooting at?
Right.
20. I'm assuming a 24 hits.
Yeah.
Okay. The western crossbow creature.
The numbers you're looking
Y'all,
for
leave
are
some of these rolls for
17
the
and
rest
18.
of us.
That's another
Wow,
crit.
wow, wow.
And then Axe Knight catches an 18.
Okay, all 3 of those hit.
Sweet. So yeah, I think this is like almost like Sinrathi just like is getting work done, right? Like it's just like point and click and like things are being set on fire.
I'm thinking John Wick because John Wick is very cold in the scenes
Yeah.
where the John Wick goes to work.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like,
It's acquire
you have
target,
implements?
neutralize target. I don't imagine I do, honestly. Like the like actual gear that Sinrathi has is like cloth armor, and then I issued all weaponry. So I don't think so. I think it's like out of like the palm of the hand, or like, I mean, like maybe the third one if he's showing off is like the tail whips around and shoots the last one or something.
so there's the Iron Man is not
Kind of,
dissimilar
yeah.
the way that you fight.
Yeah. Or like Zuko.
Ooh, yeah, that's a better touchdown, Zuko.
Or
Fire Lords.
I think also like if Sinrathi ever loses his shit, it's going to be a lot more Azula than Zuko.
That's fair.
Great. I want to see that entire series again.
I think
Yeah.
she's
So
the lightning waves.
you tag the first one for 8, I believe.
Yeah, the first one's 8. The crossbow knight on the western wall takes 13, and then the axe knight takes 5. Unless they take extra fire damage or less fire damage.
So the knights on the crossbow knights on the south and west walls do not survive past the initial contact with the fire, so to speak. Keith, from outside, you see the one that you shot with the arrow
Mhm.
get slammed with a fiery.
It's like a ray, it's actually just like a continuous bolt of fire. Like I imagine it like a laser. Like it
Nice.
extends from
Yeah,
me
just
to
like
target.
Yeah, it like goes through probably.
Oh, I really like the like super stylized anime. Like it goes through and through, and they're like suspended on it for a second.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's great. Whoosh. Whoosh. Only can make that longer. Yeah. Yeah, the phrasing. It's super, yes, very anime. So the rays of it's like you're watching a rave from outside the club. Right. There's a couple bolts of fire that from somewhere near the center catches two of the crossbow knights and like impales them briefly before they start to fall down to the ground. They do that vaporization thing again. Killing them with magic apparently turns them into ash. And the last one, the Axe Knight, you said you hit that critter 4 or 5, correct?
Yep.
Right. It is. It has like. It brings up like this partial shield that gets ablated away as you burn through it. Fritz.
So I think Fritz once again continues with momentum and ramps up the newly created hole in the wall to get up higher. And as he sort of hits the end of that crater, it crests the wall, he sort of launches a bit into the air with the jump jets and fires shot down at the Axe Knight.
Nice.
And I have buttons somewhere. Here they are.
Awesome.
For only 14.
So like I want this game though that we're describing at the moment with the fantasy parkour engine where it sounds pretty badass.
Roll to handhold.
So the thing has brought up a like a more comprehensive shield as it's getting as it's attacked by Yorha and Senrathi and now you and it's got like this multifaceted like geodesic dome sort of half shell that it brings up as like multiple shots from your thunder cannon kind of like impact it. Again, another very anime inspired image, right? As it's got this shield that just pop, 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 pop. As those then they then fade away as well. Keith.
Hi. Okay. So I really can't see any targets from where I am, huh?
Correct. If you could fly, you could get to the wall.
If I could fly, I'd do a lot of things differently, Mike.
Oh. You probably scramble up to the wall too.
Could I get to like here, like the other side of the gate, and see this Axe Knight?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of these dead things inside.
Yeah, that just seems like par for the course. Like I don't think she even flinches at just dead stuff everywhere.
There's
like,
precisely one dead thing inside.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a smoking hole on the other end. Also, Vashla, you should totally ask that out loud.
I said, can I give Keith a boost up?
Okay, so I'd be like an extra 1.5 feet higher. Great job, dwarf.
You think I can't throw you that much higher?
I don't know. I'm
Like Wonder Woman, jump off the shield and get flung into the air.
Yeah.
right now. Well, I mean, I think this is the only thing left, so I'm cool staying outside the wall.
Where it's safe.
I mean, safe in air quotes, like 3 miles tall. Yeah, so I'm going to move my hunter's mark to this guy, and since the other one died, it's like a free action, blah blah blah. And then I'm gonna do the thing where I put an arrow on my bow, and then I Not really that great though. It's only 15.
That will be a miss. So the defensive shell that the thing has erected around itself continues to ward off all attack.
Okay.
Yorha.
Okay. Having done I challenged it, it challenged me, and then it shielded itself. What is this crap?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go at the shield with my axe as hard as I can. Just
I'm going to hit you as hard as I can.
Overhand with my glowing solar axe. I'm gonna smash it. I'm gonna smash it real hard.
There's an axe to see if the flesh joke in there.
They're
Someone made
definitely
that already.
Probably.
Okay. 21 is greater than 17 in hits.
Cool. Yeah, so I bring that down. I imagine I cleave like straight through the geodesic dome and catch it somewhere, pretty tender because it's taken 20 damage.
Yeah.
Just sort of out of nowhere, much to its surprise.
I really like the mental image of these things shattering or like ablating away, like as they take damage and as you puncture through. More cats. Hi.
So many
Hi,
cats. So many cats.
And so the shield shatters right as inwards as you do so, and like you're gonna cleave off one of their arms. Like that sounds pretty metal. I like that.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm like yelling some ancient war chant at the top of my lungs, and just through the shield, through the arm, into the ground, and like I'm surprised by how easy it was. And now my axe is stuck in the ground and I have to pull it out.
Right, and these things, metallic armor is just that weird semi-pliable shell thing, right?
Okay,
and like the whatever was person meats on the inside is now this kind of spongy orange flesh with like bluish blood that leaks out a little bit. It's all very not what maybe you do expect this sort of thing from rock critters. Wait, no, we talked about how this is like
this is not the same. Yeah,
this is
the unnatural thing.
Yeah, does the arm like stop moving when I cut it off?
Yes, which is also not right for rock critters.
Okay.
But yeah, have you ever seen the inside of a lobster raw?
Probably goo,
No.
right?
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
But you haven't seen it, so that doesn't really help. So imagine a cooked lobster, but like softer.
Okay.
Very,
Great.
very well done.
So the inside looks like sea spider. Got it.
Yeah, and like it doesn't appear to be particular. Like you've removed one of its arms, so just call it like half of its functionality as far as arms go, because it only has two, and that was a very bizarre way of saying that. You've disarmed it, not de-armed it, because that would be both, just one.
Mhm.
And it doesn't like howl in pain or recoil in terror or anything like that. Instead, it kind of like backs up into the corner and begins to chant.
We should definitely stop that. Definitely stop that. Yeah. I don't really have any tools for doing that, so I'm done.
Do you get attack of opportunity since it's disengaging?
I don't know. Do I?
If there is a way to disengage safely, it has done so.
I don't think you can
imagine
do it and also like do an action.
Right.
So I don't know if starting to cast that spell is an action or not. I don't think it is because probably casting the spell is an action.
Yeah, I think
it hasn't
Mike's,
cast the spell yet.
Yeah, Mike's showing us the soft move right now. We have to do something about it.
He's showing us the barrel of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
Vashla, whom I also believe has a barrel of a gun.
I do.
It's currently smoking, that barrel.
Yeah, so move a teeny bit closer. And then fire regular ammunition on it. I don't remember how much damage it does if I don't use grenades because I've only used grenades so far.
Thought it was like 2d6.
Yeah, sounds right.
I thought that's what it was with the grenade.
I thought that was 3d6.
I thought the grenade was
Oh.
just like area, like it hit everything within.
Oh yeah,
That's-
you're
and-
right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Okay.
2d6 sounds good.
Well, I miss.
So it's got that shield back up.
Right.
And it's like repositioned it to be in front of it, or maybe like only half the shield remains after Yoha cleaved it in twain. And it's positioned it between you and it. But regardless, the effect is similar. It is preventing incursions into its fleshy bits. Cinerathi.
So I realized that I probably can't roll 3 crits in a row, just statistically speaking. Although right now I'm still likely to roll.
You can roll 3 crits in a row.
It's still a 1. It's a 1 in 20 this shot. But what's more interesting, I think, is making this sucker roll dice. And I'm not sure if I want to set it on fire, or if I want to risk necrotic damage being like not helpful against it.
Oh god.
I think
Gotta
we've
refill
already
the arm.
tried that before.
We have, but not against these things. I don't know if would Senrathi know if everything rot is resistant to necrotic? Because then I should
Probably.
probably change a cantrip.
Yeah, that's kind of our job to know these things.
Yeah.
Right. And worst case, you can throw some dice at the problem, right? Like, would Cinerathi know? How's their knowledge religion?
Boop.
Right?
20 knowledge religions.
Pretty good.
I'm feeling particularly religious right now.
Roddy Bits responded poorly to fire and holy.
Okay. But like necrotic?
Based upon what you've seen in the past, it would respond well to necrotic.
Okay. So poorly for me. Change this cantrip. I'm leaving myself a note.
In the meantime, you can...
I'm going to create a bonfire underneath it.
Gotcha.
So it needs to make a DC 14 save. And I'm going to re-roll that D6 because I have a feat that lets me re-roll the first D6 damage die.
Okay.
And a 3's, about average, but let's see if I can't beat that. Yeah, there we go.
A 6 is more.
Mm-hmm. So it will take 6 damage this turn and 6 damage at the start of its turn.
Sounds
Awesome.
like communism.
As I create a bonfire underneath it. Listen, I have seized the means of fire production, and now I'm redistributing said fire to the masses.
Wish I could just leave the fire there.
Yeah, I think that's probably a
According to
future
that one.
feature.
Yeah.
Like create an
According to
emitter
that
for this
one.
particle effect.
Take a screenshot and re-upload the background.
Or just create an emitter and move it to the background, right?
Yeah.
Map layer. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Now when I'm clicking, it's fire. So you start a fire under it, quite literally. And it's not a thing that its shield stops you from doing because you, I guess, evoke it inside of the shield.
Essentially.
And it unquietly begins to cook. Fritz.
Fritz continues down the wall, trying to get better advantage targeting. Whatever, shoots, does his thing, and misses or fails to get through shield.
No.
And
Yeah,
done.
It's pretty heavily shielded at this point, trying desperately to ward off attack while it finishes this spell.
Just going for speed rounds here.
Oh, god damn it. For some reason, my bow keeps resetting to being a strength roll and not a dex roll. So instead of having a +4 modifier, should have had a +8. Nice. Thank you, macros. It's real nice of you. Oh, it's my turn again?
Yeah.
Okay, now that my macro's fixed, I'm going to shoot this thing properly. Instead of trying to throw the arrow at it, I'm going to use the bow the way it was intended. And nope, still a 15. Great. Okay. I
Wait,
think I need to turn the bow off and back on again.
Calibrating. Yeah, the that black geodesic shield catches the arrow and prevents it from penetration. Yorha.
I'm gonna smash it again. Same deal. Like I'm dodging the incoming bolts and bullets from behind me
Right.
as this thing's chanting, and there's no way I'm going to let it do the thing it's trying to do. So I am just gonna roll with advantage.
I was gonna say the question is whether or not it had 6 health left after my fire,
Oh, it's true.
because it
It's
might
true.
have
It might
just
just
died.
die after the fact anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. I can smash it to death, and then it can like burn anyway at the end. Yes, it's 21 versus AC for 19 damage, 9 of it radiant.
Gotcha.
As I smash into it as it cowers in the corner, trying to cast some sort of spell that I hate and I hate it for.
So, two things happens. You
Okay.
smash it with your axe, which is excellent. However, you strike its body down, right, and it like cleaves it in half, and like gross
Does it
rot
become more
lobster
powerful
bits.
than I can possibly imagine?
Yes.
Okay.
So this
That's great.
this murky silhouette of the creature remains after its gross lobster body has been slain and crumbles to the ground, and it sits there continuing to chant for a moment until it begins to burn as well.
So here's a really weird question. Do I count to have killed it the first time around?
Yes.
Because I have that feat that gives me the attack if I kill something on my turn. And I want to kill its
What
body, and then I want to see its force ghost and be like, "No, motherfucker!"
I'm going
Just
to kill its
smash
soul.
that with more radiant damage. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Yorha was gonna turn around and start PvP.
for a second there, it's like, well, that didn't work. Let's try to join them.
Yeah, we're calling the campaign right here, guys. Angry Barbarian time. No, I just want just like Yorha cutting down the body and then seeing the ghost of the thing still standing there would absolutely like use his bonus attack to attempt to destroy that too in his barbaric rage. His like holy Super Saiyan rage, I would attempt to smash that too.
Give me your best piss off ghost and kick it.
Piss off, ghost!
Yeah, so like mechanically, right, so you attack again and dispel the spirit.
Awesome.
It was on fire, so it wasn't going to get to do much, right? The fire existed
Yeah.
both here and in whatever astral plane it was projecting from. And you attacked it with radiant magic, which exploded the body and spirit as well. So, like, all sorts of unpleasant things for it occurred before it had a chance to go and be burned to death. Again, spiritually. So, good job. Way to barbarian.
Go team.
Yes. Piss off ghost indeed.
Piss off, ghost!
Yes. So we're gonna step down for a quick bio break for everybody, because we've been going for about 90 minutes. So we'll do that, and then we'll reconvene shortly.
Cool.
It is confusing to me. Just connect, please.
We got that perfectly, Mike. Just like you being like, why is my beard confusing?
Yeah. I just have to dye all the hair pink.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. We're back. And we are going to continue right where we left off, which was, I believe, the phrase
Lose the dead.
no one lives forever. No, the Axe Knight, as it has been colloquially dubbed, was slain both body and spirit. Keith, from the gate area of the outpost, you're able to hear the sort of ritualistic chanting that was going on as the creature was slain. And the words that you recognize in deep speech were my voice correct for this was this body dies, but I am eternal.
That he gets
Irony.
Okay, that's fine. That's just gate.
I mean, is it this body dies, but I am eternal splat?
This body dies, but I will.
Is that the last thing that's alive?
Well, yeah, that was alive, right? And you do still hear the voice after Yorha ends its soul as well.
Hey, it's not like dead.
I'm pretty sure it is now, actually.
No, I still hear it.
So that when you're like
Wait, does
side
anybody
eyes
else hear it?
between Sinrathi and Fritz with his axe still out.
I think Kate is like slowly backing away from the gate. Hey, I still hear it. I'm gonna go over here.
I get to work burning the corpse that didn't magic.
Okay.
And then probably like the palisade walls, the mud pit, the campfire, like everything in here burns.
We should look around for stuff that might tell us what's going on, or how to find these people, or how to fight them, or like all these things.
So,
Evidence.
Zach,
Do
you
they have
should
a
roll
cl-
hay.
Find clues.
They had a collection of rot organs, didn't they? They were throwing in all this food.
Yeah.
Rot pods.
So in order, the pit is an excavation. There appears to be, it's not just digging for the walls, or else they would just been like around that area, but it appears to be a concerted effort to dig downwards to a thing, and then around the thing there is like an extrusion there that they're digging around, and it's some sort of there's definitely rot any problem.
It's Yorha and Kaith are punning at each other. Things are going gate out here. There's definitely rot any problem.
Oh, I see now.
I'm sorry, Mike.
Ignore
Absent,
chat,
yes.
Mike.
What was the thing that I was doing where I was reading chat that I was supposed to be doing? Yeah.
So there's an extrusion in the mud pile that I'm gonna burn later.
Yeah, so and it's like you know how like jointed spine things are? Or it looks like it's like a crab leg, right? Like the elbow of a crab leg. Not really elbows, but you know, like the jointed sections of a crab.
Yep.
It kind of like but it's like 20 feet across and like 6 feet thick, and it's like still mostly buried in the muck.
Is this what remains of North Korea from the superheroes game, Michael? Did I just connect the dots? Is this a giant crab mecha, Michael?
Hashtag it's all connected.
Anyways, yeah, I'm probably saving that for last, and I'd like to burn most other things, or at least set them alight where they will like take care of themselves from there.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what Sinrathi's experience with military outposts are, but this is a most of the stuff here is what you would consider to be top shelf. It is not particularly well maintained or upkept. The palisade walls burn easily enough, although they're damp wood, untreated damp wood that would, rot away over time regardless. Like the squalor is the term that you would largely use. Like it's all the floor is not like there's not even like wooden boards put down like you do at temporary military encampments. It's just mud and dirt everywhere. So there's mud and dirt tracked everywhere. There's like straw, like fetid straw that's just strewn on the grounds. And that's it. Right? That's apparently where they were sleeping.
Okay.
Under an overhang with straw strewn onto the muddy ground.
So they have like lean-tos set up.
Yeah. Well, not even like effectively lean-tos.
Okay.
And there is one tower where not a tower, but one raised platform above the rest of the camp, under which there is several of these barrels. That when you pry open contain these weird orange pulsating organelles.
Yeah, they all get burned. I think what I'm going to do with the tower is like burn the support that's like towards the middle of the camp so that when the tower falls, it falls inwards.
Yeah, gotcha.
And yeah, I'm happy to pass the spotlight, but eventually I'm going to come back to that like crab leg.
I've got a click lighter. I could start working on the outside of the wall.
I mean, I'll hack pieces up and put it in a pile to burn more easily. Is this place on a road? Like, was this one of the stops?
It was in a crossroads.
Yeah, it's right.
Like a T intersection.
Are we burning down things that are going to obstruct traffic? Basically, is the question.
Not if we
Like,
burn them right.
I was gonna say, if the farmers gonna like drive around us?
I also
on the way
like
places.
I've got that feat, the Flames of Flethagos or whatever it is, Phlegethos. Hey man,
Flimagoth.
Yeah.
It's a
Flames of
sorcery,
Fire
how the words are
Goth.
spelled.
Yeah. Flames of Fire Goth. And so I mean like that's mechanically what lets me reroll fire damage. So like I'm imagining just like that means that's probably why all of this stuff is catching fire preposterously easily for like a tree that's probably still damp inside. Like,
Yeah.
that shouldn't burn, but it is. Or at least not this
Yeah.
easily. So I don't know that like help is necessarily needed.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I would be doing the like on-site scrounging campaigner thing where I am like dragging out every piece of potentially useful thing and doing a triage, and whatever doesn't look like it's too rot infested or just too rotten or too busted up, I will just throw on the fire, and then we'll keep the useful things so that we might rebuild Fritz's laboratory or something with them. Right. Also, I'll be looking for signs of the goblins because I don't want them to burn to death necessarily.
Necessarily.
You know, I'm not going to go out of my way. To Yorha, they're like still a pest species, right? But like, they're pest species that aren't actively evil or rot-like. So, you know.
So one of the things that is readily apparent as you toss the camp is that everything seems infected with this dampness. Right? There's no. It's not like a particularly wet area, and the rains haven't been particularly heavy. But there's like puddles. Excuse me.
Okay.
Like the bottom of that pit is sort of is got like an inch of standing water in it, right? And everywhere it's like muddy. The surfaces are all dirty, like wet and mud. And where it's not mud, it's dirt. But like there's moderately paved roads that lead to and from this outpost.
Okay.
And like that wet kind of infects everything. Like there's it's not rot, like orange rot sort of stuff, but like even like the place where they'd store their food, like the idea behind keeping food is you keep it dry, right, and away from critters and stuff, and like they've got like wet biscuits, like wet hardtack sort of stuff, right? That's and they were not eating that. They were eating meat off of a bone that they roasted of something, right? Moist tack, yeah, delicious moist tack. Wet crackers, right?
Sorry. Got a little shiver there.
And there's like plain mold, right? Like not fancy rot. There's just plain rot everywhere as well. And like the trees that were used to build up the palisade. And just this entire area is damp beyond reason. And then there's somebody else think of stuff to ask questions about, so I can think of more things to say. Or abandon this place and go someplace else.
I mean, Fritz is just basically packing his bag back up.
Yeah. So like goblins, right?
It's very important.
Yeah. The goblins have like, when you start packing the bag back up, they like scuttle back into the fort
Oh my god.
from outside.
That's adorable.
And they like
trips in the mud.
they like wait their turn behind like a stack of things, and they see you stacking stuff up, and they're like trying to help, right? They like pick up things and like put things on other things, right? Like not like they don't get that you're just putting them back. They're like stacking stuff because people like stuff stacked.
Do they have a bunch of doves like lashed together chain gang style with them?
They're all hooded.
Yeah.
What's a fireman drill?
When they all line up and they're passing things.
A bucket brigade.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. But they're things that like Fritz could easily pick up himself. Right. They bucket brigade like the pencil that Fritz used for marking where to cut. With chalk, probably. Right.
And then at the end, they just like huck it into the bag. Like it's not like
Right.
put in any specific order.
Yeah.
It's all just like conveyor belting into the bag at random.
Well, I just pictured they do that, and then when it's just the goblins that go back in, they like start doing it to the goblin at the end of the line.
Right. They just pick up that one and throw it in, and then they pick up the next one. Yeah.
That's
And the last one picks up itself and throws it in. Are you allowing the goblins to go back into your sack? Metaphorically, speaking.
I don't think Fritz can stop them right now. Just resigned to his fate.
I love how Fritz is like a man of order and like structure and reason, and just has our bullshit inflicted upon him daily.
Welcome to my life.
One day Fritz will write memoirs about this.
But I just
Nobody
We
else
will all be the villains. All
Someone
of
will
us.
interrupt him in the middle.
Keith, give me a perception roll.
I can do that.
You're not like out and about, or you're not
19. I'm
hucking stuff in
outside
body.
No, they're doing stuff, and I have probably discreetly backed away from the group because none of them can hear what I can hear, and she may not be the most observant, but she does know that that's not probably gonna go over well.
So there are two things that you get with a 19. The first is that that the echo that you heard has faded, but like it fades directionally. It fades to the west.
Okay.
And the other thing that you notice, regardless, is that there is another wagon coming this way from the south. And you rolled 19. That's super good. So I feel like you should be able to ask two questions, and I should be because that's the thing that I like from Dead Number.
Has the wagon noticed me? Like, can I tell that the people inside the wagon have noticed me?
So it is unlikely they see you. I imagine that Kate is pretty stealthy by default.
Yeah, small and bird. Usually
Right.
I'm overlooked.
But you would judge it impossible for them not to notice because there's, thick black smoke rising out of the pork.
Another question. Do these look like more like the farmer types who go through here, or do they look, let's say, inquisitorial?
It's a wagon with a wagon driver with a cart full of probably foodstuffs. It appears to be similar to the like the gaffer that you mentioned.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go head on over to him and say hi.
Okay.
Which it's gonna be fine. I have no charisma and I'm going off on my own.
So you're able to I'm not gonna say that you sneak up to the Wagoneer as in skulking or skullduggery. I'm gonna say that they just happen not to notice you because Keith is naturally stealthy and it's not their fault they didn't see you coming. Or it's not your fault they didn't see you coming. And like at closer distances, you can see that this person is wearing like a sleeveless tunic, and they have markings on their arms above the elbow. I'm not sure how. We'll have something rolled for Kate. They appear to be some sort of markings like tattoos, but below the elbow, they have similar. They're wearing gloves or gauntlets similar to the knights that you just dispatched.
Okay. I think as it gets close, she's gonna be like, "Hey, hi."
Like the driver startles, right, and yanks the reins away from you as the horse kind of like.
I'm sorry. I wasn't. I'm little. Sometimes people don't see me. I'm sorry. I'm not being sneaky. I was saying hey, and wanted to talk about some stuff that's down over there.
Okay, that's fine. Have you considered a bell?
Well, usually there's other people with me, but they're taking care of like there's some sort of dangerous stuff back there that they're tending to for public safety.
Okay. So what can I do for you, traveler?
Well, I was gonna come see what you're doing and maybe tell you that this might not be a great way station because of the whole it being on fire thing.
Yes, I can see that, but we need to. I mean, I have nothing. I have the foodstuffs that need to get moved out so that we can continue to get paid and continue to not be, destroyed.
Yeah, no, definitely. I understand people need to eat. That's important. I was just there was some really shady stuff going on up here. Would it be possible? Do you want to maybe come talk to the rest of the group and maybe we could figure something out? Could I ride with you? I promise, I'll keep my hands on my lap and everything. I'll be good.
Okay. We don't get many bandits here, so that's fine.
Yeah, probably not bandits you could throw either. So there's that. So I think she's gonna climb on board, and she's just gonna kind of lean back and look around, and
eat his face.
No, I think she's going to try and somehow like in the middle of conversation, some people will drop like an occasional Spanish word or something when they're speaking English.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm gonna say, oh yeah, so I was going back to the, and I think she's probably gonna slip in the deep speech word for like gathering place.
Flesh hole.
We're just heading back to the place of reaping. Just wondering, have you been there? Is it nice? I've heard things.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. The where?
And I think she's gonna say it again and be like, "Oh, it's sorry. I guess it's a word my people use for things. I'm still kind of getting acclimated to not people not like me. Sorry. The is there a good tavern nearby that you know of?
Oh, we have a gathering, a meeting hall back at my village, but I mean that's the best that we have here.
Okay. Well, that's something. Um, anyway, you've been real fun to talk to, and sometimes I think the people that I hang out with don't like me so much, so it's kind of nice to just meet, a person I can talk to about things. So,
We just uh, we find that seeing a friendly face is reason enough to be uh, the word that I'm looking for. That means reason enough to be lightly gregarious,
hmm
Convivial.
convivial, lovely.
well,
That makes me happy in the word pants.
I figure you've probably got a long road to travel. So, uh, if we, if we have to go our separate ways, here, and she puts like she hands him like 2 or 3 gold coins, and she goes, just the first couple rounds are on me. Thanks.
So like he awkwardly takes the coins, awkwardly receives the coins, right? Like
Mhm.
the turns over the hand, and it's the same sort of unrelenting chitinous armor thing,
Mhm.
but uh like has to cradle the coins in the hand, and then like brings it close to his torso, and then like awkwardly drapes the reins around one of the fingers, and then like individually gets each coin and moves it over to a pouch, but
Mhm.
like each movement appears distinctly considered.
Hey, what's up with your gloves?
Thank you.
Uh, sorry, they are not the most pleasing to look upon.
Oh, I mean, I I got my wings burned off, so like I'm not trying to like judge people's appearances. I just wouldn't it be easier to like do carriage stuff without them on? Why don't you take them off?
Oh well, and he like brings over his elbow towards you and like pulls at one of the edges, and it just kind of like molds into his flesh below the elbow. These are not things I can take off. They are my hands.
Okay. Um, I might not be familiar with all the different kinds of plumage that humans can be born with, but that seems different. How'd that happen? I'll tell you how my wings got burned off if you tell me your thing.
Oh, my hands were taken from me, and these were replacements.
Taken? Like, uh, taken by who?
Let's roll some sort of convince me to tell you the thing.
Fuck. This is where uh this is the paragraph leading up to the shit turns bad section of the book. Persuasion maybe?
Persuasion is good. I'm sorry, Vosh. I have to take a pause for New Kids on the Rod, but then we may continue.
Okay, persuasion may be good. My persuasion, however, not so much. 3.
Okay. So he mostly looks embarrassed, and kind of like blushes. Not blushes, but like, yeah, it's an embarrassing topic. Humans blush when they're embarrassed, right?
Yeah, hi. Yes.
And not reading chat. The answer is like he says, there's a. It is not always polite to pry into the private affairs of strangers.
That's okay. That's probably true. I'm sorry.
I,
I
I
wasn't
would
trying to
understand if
make
you
it
do not want to
offensive.
share the story of your lost way.
Oh, I got super sick and it changed me, and then some cool guy came by and he burned them off and I didn't die. And
Oh,
now I hear weird things. Like I can talk to creatures and stuff. which really helps because I'm like a huntery type person. Like I have this bow, and I like to go hunt things, and you know, I try to be friends with things. You know, it's a new lease on life sort of thing.
Ah, I can appreciate getting a new lease on life.
Um, yeah. So I mean, I'm real sorry about your arms. I wasn't trying to like make you uncomfortable. I just figured, you know, it'd be a way to pass the time. Tell not really war stories because I don't think either of ours are from a war. I don't want to. That's not a thing you have to tell me about. Thanks for the ride. Looks like we're almost here though. So maybe we can figure out something with the rest of the group.
Yes, perhaps. I very much appreciate you being understanding of not wanting to. Not everyone's.
Chatty.
Chatty is a good word. Not everyone is as understanding as you are.
How entirely on fire is the outpost?
Like everything, like the air, the water in the pit is on fire.
It's still nighttime, right? Didn't we just stage like a nighttime attack?
Yeah.
So there's just like this giant pyre of a post.
Do we make a giant bonfire?
Then because I've been casting fire, I also shed light in a 30-foot radius, so I'm like a glowing beacon of light in the literal darkness.
You are the fiery ember that has set. You are the spark that has lighted the fires of resistance, rebellion. Yeah. So Keith is returning to the fort, the flaming fort of fire, with a wagoneer and their wagon and a horse that is super uncomfortable at being this close to a giant pillar of flaming fire.
Hey guys,
Not
I found
to
this
rock
person.
it.
I didn't think to ask his name. I'm kind of sorry. Hey, what's your name? I'm Keith. Nice to meet you.
Edgar.
Poe.
Okay.
Hey, this is
How would
Poe,
you do?
and he's got really cool gloves, and he's he's driving a wagon, and he seems nice.
As you bring these people in, if Yorha sees them, he will immediately go over and, do the thing where I examine the people and keep them from getting out of hand if something's wrong. Like specifically, if this guy's got like the chitinous like forearms, I would definitely grab one of those and examine it very closely.
I think all of the people with those were dead by the time I got.
Hey, it's Joe.
Nice.
Also, if Yorha's grabbing an arm, I want to like turn rot on him.
This guy gets swarmed as soon as he comes through the gates.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is evidence of like rot.
So, in order, Yorha, you grab the arm to like look at it, and it turns more than arms are supposed to.
Oh, good. That seems like a great sign. At that point, I will like, you're coming with me,
And the guy kind of screams in pain as you do so.
Great. I will essentially body him down off the cart
Yorha,
and
stop. Be nice.
lay him out on the ground in such a way as to render him not a threat to the rest of us while the examination continues.
Gotcha. So describe in detail the examination process.
Well, to that bad cop, I think Senrathi is going to be good cop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Keith is going to hop around and apologize profusely.
Yeah.
Keith will be Canadian cop.
Keith will be not cop. Canadian cops can be dicks.
Is he being detained? Is he being detained?
Yeah. Yeah, Keith is lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know you're fucked.
This is going on Twitch.
Yeah. But yeah. I want to like investigate at him. Probably using my religiosity.
Okay. Roll to religion.
Yeah, I give myself guidance, so I'm gonna add a D4 to this roll. Neat.
Okay. So
17.
17. Describe how you're religiousing at this person.
I think it's literally like, what does my God demand of me in this situation? Because if this person can be saved, I must try to save them. And if they're beyond redemption, then I just make it quick. And if my God tells me they're beyond redemption, I might still try.
We can just tear their arms off, right?
Like, is there a tenant for this in your holy book?
I don't think there's a lot written down, but Senrathi is that idiot who tried to save the vampire, right?
And you're they of hope and power,
yeah,
right? So there's not going to be there is people bits. They can be redeemed.
Yeah. So I think it's I'm willing to burn a second level slot trying to heal this person.
Okay.
Ooh. Is there something that I know that the rot focuses on? So if I could hide it, the rot wouldn't see there's anything there and would stop being a corrupting influence? If only temporarily. Because I want to see if invisibility could be used to fool the rot, and then in the second where it loses focus.
I tear his arms off.
No. Let's not butcher the man.
That's super fascinating, and I love that idea. I have no idea how to consider that, but sure, yeah. There's
dice.
Totally,
yeah,
heart chakra, whatever. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
probably things you can.
So hide that facet of him from the sight of the rot, and then in that moment sever the connection.
This is some real Doctor Strange bullshit where we've just completely abstracted the meaning of that spell.
Yeah.
Oh, a door, right? That's fast. Yes. That's why I bring interesting problems to you people.
Well, I was how do I heal this man with invisibility? The spell.
Yeah, you should roll some dice for what's going to happen here.
You heal him by making his cancer forget
Arcana?
he's there.
Yeah, because the rot has an intelligence. So if I can make it blink, then maybe I can do something in that moment. I will give myself guidance again. Yay, a 3. So 3 plus... Does a 20 work for you?
Yeah, okay. So Yorha, you're holding this dude's arm, or both arms, they're right? And Senrathi casts Purge Rot, right? The arm that you're holding, the part where the gauntlet, the extended gauntlet, connects to just below the elbow, peels away, and there are little toothy bits that are coming up out of the dude's flesh.
Awesome.
And then the arm comes off your head.
I will pull the arm away from him, and find a sharp piece of wood and staple it to the ground.
I don't want to leave the man armless, because I don't think that's probably great for his life expectancy in this world. Is there? Right. I will burn more slots to keep this man whole.
So, as you what you look there is the puckered stump of a limb.
Well, fuck.
Was it both arms or just the one arm?
Both.
It's both arms below the elbow.
Does the other arm start coming off as well?
Yeah, it does the same exact thing. And the part where it turned more than it expected it to, you can see there's the tooth of the thing tore up his arm.
I'm going to take the matched pair and sort of pull them away from him, and at least keep them from reattaching. while we figure out what the hell's going on.
Vashla, throw me perception. Or Fritz too. Fritz, you got some sort of like both of you have training in like not aristocracy, but like well, you come from the more refined portions of the worlds, right?
Yeah. 20.
20 is a lot.
20 is a lot. 5 is not. 5 is not a lot.
And like a history or somebody too. Fine. Okay, so awesome. Okay, so like the tattoos that the person has on their arms above the elbow, I've actually marked them as a criminal of some sort.
Probably a
And
thief.
their crime was bad enough that they cut off his hands. So it was equivalent of blasphemy, and instead of putting them to death, they cut off his hands.
How does one blaspheme an atheist society? I'm very confused right now.
It's pretty
He
simple.
believed in a
You say
god.
there's a god.
Hmm.
Maybe he stole things to make a church. That's theft and blasphemy.
Like what greater punishment is there to an artist than to cut off their hands, right?
Mhm.
Murder?
Giving them bad hand.
Yeah, I'm standing there with one hand in each hand, waiting for this to play out.
Hand in hand and hand in hand.
Hmm.
I mean, they're effectively cured, right?
Are the hands like wiggling at me or like trying to
Do you
get
make them
me?
clap?
Are the arms cured? Like, if he kept them, would he go rotten?
I mean, that's tough to say. This is kind of a new thing.
I will burn every one of my remaining spell slots on
Yeah.
purging the rot out of these.
Yep.
Okay, let's make it happen then.
I don't remember how to do that.
We should all like sit in a circle and take turns.
I mean, I have 3 more first level spells. I will burn them to ash. To
I
save this
mean,
man.
we have fire all around us. We can literally just burn them to ash.
No, I mean, I will burn my spell slots to save this
Oh.
man's arms.
So, I mean, these things are inherently created, like they are individually wrought creatures.
I want to dunk them in bleach, render them inert.
I mean, I'm functionally a rot creature.
I mean, they're not going to turn into hands.
Well,
I don't
no,
know what you
like-
guys are trying to do for him right now.
I'm kind of sort of like both Zach and Yorha are very confused at what the outcomes we're driving towards are.
I'm trying to leave this man with arms that function, that aren't going to slowly kill him and those people around him.
Fritz, can you make him hands, please? I'll give you all the
Yeah, I
cards
mean,
have.
that's
Please make him
that's
hands.
what I was planning on doing, is inventing prosthetics or whatever. But
Yeah.
Just-
I don't see any point in like trying to burn rot from the rot creatures.
I mean, because no one was rolling to make prosthetics.
Okay. I mean, I was kind of assuming that Zach was just going to chuck him into a fire right away.
That's what. Yeah, like I'm sort of waiting to see if there's a better option. But yes,
Cool.
I will
I
chuck
think-
them into a fire.
I
I'm
think
going to
Keith
chuck them
would
into a
have
fire.
tried to like take one from you so we can analyze it and figure out what the hell is going on with it, because this is a new thing. It seems
Keith
like.
is going to try to do that.
Yes, and like even if
I
like,
will
you're
back
holding
her
her
up.
in the air, like
What's-
she's holding onto it and like trying to brace her feet on you and saying, "Give me."
Just say, what's Kate's grapple roll?
I-
Because
I
Low.
will back Kaith up,
I just
because this shit is
picturing
fascinating, and we need to
Give me-
learn from it.
Give me one.
sitting back and watch this horrible rot-themed operation game go.
Yeah, so I toss the other hand. Like I imagine like I'm like holding the one hand like this, and Kate is like bracing like across my forearm with maybe like her feet on my chest, right? And the other one I'm just gonna like casually toss in the burning into the burning remains of the palisade, right? And then I'm going to look at Keith, who
He's
is
so mad at you.
scrambling against me with rage in her eyes to try to preserve a rot artifact. And I'm going to look at my commanding officer, and I'm going to reach for the sickle at my belt.
You have a sickle?
Yeah, it's got the purging sickle from the ceremony.
Oh,
You got a
right.
nice man, and you ripped his damned arms off. Give me this one so I can figure out how we can fight it later.
They're damned. That's the point.
To be fair, they fell off. Also, they're made of rot, which means we should burn them.
Yeah, so am I, kind of. Give me the gloves.
I like where this is going. Hold on. And I'll make eye contact with Fritz. I'm like,
I'll go get it out of the fire if I have to.
I mean, just kill the hand first. Just cut it in half and give it to him.
all right, yeah, like I will crush the hand. Like as Keith is holding it, I will crush it as hard as I can to where it's like no longer a functional creature. If like little lobster parts squirt out both ends, that's sort of the goal here,
Yeah.
right? And then I would just drop the whole mess and let Keith deal with it.
Like, I think when you do that, she looks at the dude, like, really sadly, because, I mean, we've functionally, until this is resolved, we have completely removed his method of doing most things.
I mean, if you had creatures feeding off of your stumps, would you want them back, even if they gave you hands?
We did
I
well.
could
To
have
be
wings
fair,
again? Yes.
we didn't really ask him. He's right there. We could have asked him that. But that's not Yorha's way. Like we could have asked this dude, rod hands. That's kind of fucked up. Do you really want these? And he could have told us yes or no.
You can
I mean,
make you better ones.
If he said yes, would you have killed him?
Oh, so well, that's too bad and still destroyed them.
That's deeply
But-
hypothetical at this point. So
Sorry, I'm trying to get a feeling for the person who I'm just finding out is cool ripping the arms off of innocent people. Would you have killed him if he said he wanted to keep them?
I mean,
I didn't rip them off. They fell off, and I collected them.
Keith has also like murdered innocent people.
Name 8.
I mean,
Well, we
the
don't know their
12
names 'cause
people
you
who
killed them
lived in that
first.
village.
A bunch
Yeah,
of faceless
that's
NPCs.
That's prequel shit you can't judge me for.
I mean, the other village that we went to that was the halfling had lived in.
Which one?
That halfling, and he like set himself up as like rot Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't
It's
kill
like
any
the
innocent
second
people.
episode.
You murdered a
shot
bunch
the
of people in the
villager.
villagers.
Yeah, that definitely
I don't think I did. There was a
Yeah.
dude who
Did,
was in
we-
the house trying to kill me, and I didn't.
No,
We
he
saved
was
them
just
at the
standing there.
end.
We saved some at the end, but like I whirlwind killed like 6 of them, and you killed several of them.
I don't remember that.
I really have. Yeah.
Just because I fucked up in the past doesn't mean I can't expect better of myself and the people I associate with.
It's called character growth.
I think that's
Long
fair.
ago-
Sorry. Good.
Oh, I was gonna say, not that long ago, you fucked up a horse that can't really do anything maliciously.
That horse was just there. Like
Horses aren't people. You weren't there. You don't know any of this. I didn't tell you about the horse.
This
All I
is your
told you about
conscience.
was the enemy combatant that I beheaded because he was infested by the rot. You're welcome.
So you just said enemy combatant. I think any moral ground you had is gone.
Oh my god. That was amazing. That was amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I was feeling bad about Yorha. I'm fine now.
Oh God.
There was a douchebag who shot me. I don't know if I told you about that. He shot me. You're welcome for the guns, by the way.
Welcome to that D&D
keep the
podcast.
guns?
We do this 3 times a week.
It's the best thing.
So I think with the crushed glove, Kate's gonna pick it up and try to go somewhere not in eyesight of the dude who no longer has hands and try to figure out the hands.
Well, for starters, it looks delicious. No, I'm sorry. It's crushed lobsters. So, yeah. So it's not dissimilar to what you just finished murderizing in the fort. It's a closed system of finger food. Well done, well done. Of a rot hand with teeth, like not shark teeth because they're very sharp, but they're not like the right kind of teeth for this.
Leech.
But like, yeah, like hooked teeth.
Lamprey.
Yeah.
So
Ugh.
it's the sort of thing push against the stub, and it kind of bites in.
It's pretty messed up. It's pretty messed up.
Can we? I guess she's not looking over at. Actually, she probably looks back at Fritz and she says, "Can we maybe make some that aren't like all the time painful?"
I think by this point, Fritz has. Where were we doing that? Were we doing it in front of the fort or somewhere near this burning?
I mean, it's wherever you are. It's pretty hot out now.
Yeah. So I think Fritz is taking Poe and his. What's his name? Poe? Did I get that
No.
right?
Yeah.
I think someone said
Definitely.
that somewhere. Yeah. Poe and his cart moving away from the fort. Letting him know what's happening and how we're going to help this guy, and asks Senrathi to keep on that excavation, find out what's happening there. Vashla stay with Senrathi. Yorha, keep an eye on the bird in that hand.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, are there any bushes nearby?
Not even
Sorry.
gonna go there. Kate, I am interested
hands.
if you do dissect that thing, let me know what you find. And I'm gonna take care of Poe and get him something to replace the rot. We are fairly confident that the rot is no longer in his stumps, I believe. So
Yes. At the conclusion of the spell, besides like the rot didn't realize it was there anymore, so the arms let go from his stumps, and Yorha was able to like casually toss them into fires / give them to the bird to Kate.
Okay.
Bird sounds minimizing. I don't want to do that. Then the Poe went through that stage 1 rot removal process, mostly consistent of like his body ejected little bits of rot from the wound site, and then he vomited for a while.
Yeah, well, I'll take him and the cart to a safer distance. Get him comfortable while I work on, I don't know, some sort of basic gripping cloth like things.
He's rambling after he stops vomiting profusely, and he starts rambling about how I don't believe that I didn't do anything wrong, right? I just wanted to create something beautiful. I don't understand how this is my life now.
It's unfortunate. I don't have any like
I thought
first
that
aid kit or anything.
Case said that you were good people.
Trust me, we saved you from a far worse fate. Those creatures on your arms would have consumed you entirely eventually.
What would I roll to investigate these gauntlets? Like investigation, maybe, or
Investigate sounds
No,
good for
probably-
investigation.
probably not nature, huh?
I mean, sure. If you want to, nature is going to be stuff about the natural world.
Yeah, it's gonna like flavor your results, right?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm trying to figure out like the physiology of these things and if they have any inherent weaknesses different from, the rot, and how it's able to form something that's not pink fuzz or orange fuzz and all that kind of crap. But shit, I don't know. Let's see. Boop. 10. Not great.
Well, I mean, they don't feel terribly natural world to you,
Yeah, that's fair.
right? It's not that these things don't occur normally. They're not. You can't go to like a nest of rod arms, right?
They don't just hang out in the woods.
Right. And like that whole process is like both interesting and disturbing to you, right? Like maybe there are rot wings out there someplace that you could borrow or use for a while.
Too soon.
You have a glider.
It's not the same.
No, but it's close. And less likely to murder you.
But yeah, while they appear to be like there is a similar internal structure to that of people arms. Like it has a rigid bit on the internals where the radius and ulna bones would be. It all appears pretty close. But then it's got all that weird squishy orange lobster flesh and that really ineffective pliable yet soft or pliable yet rigid shell thing. And that's about all you got. Like that's not super normal. It's not something that you're going to stumble across in the real world.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so this thing
and
is...
you totally shouldn't eat it, as best as you can tell.
Okay. So this thing is like, I mean, it's dead and inert, right?
Yeah. If it was able to survive without a host, it is no longer surviving.
Okay. I think I'm gonna put it in like my backpack.
Okay.
And probably go back over to the crew.
All right.
Boss told me to excavate. I'm excavating.
Are you gonna dig or burn or what?
WWH and P do?
What would Harry Potter do?
Hope and power.
Oh, okay. HP sauce was my other guess. So
Pretty good.
What would the House of Parliament sauce do in this case?
well, so you dig for a while, and like this stuff, capital B bothers you. Like,
okay, I turn it to glass.
Okay.
Like this pit, I'm just gonna burn to glass.
So okay. You fire the whole thing. Yeah. It burns, and it burns through eventually, after quite some time of burning, but like it doesn't burn to nothing. It doesn't burn away to nothing go. There is this almost filament sort of that resists the final burnination. And it exists on both sides in the ground.
Do I have any idea what it is?
I'd like for you to roll me religion. I think I have an answer, but I don't know that it changes.
4.
Whoa.
Plus
8, you mean,
plus
right?
4, so yeah, 8.
We're gonna go with you think it's just like physical corruption, like a vein of corrupt earth now.
Great. So it's Terraria. I had another question, but I want to deal with this first. So I think like fire isn't getting the job done. So
it almost gets it done,
yeah.
but there's that still thin wire of corruption that connects these cables that go into the earth.
So I want to like grab the same like holy fire that guiding bolt is, and probably craft it into like a hammer, like a blunt object, See if I can find like a bend in this vein or something, and just hit it right at sort of like the apex of the bend. And
So,
shatter it.
as you start melting it down, it becomes pliable.
Great. I hate it. So I think instead of like, I'm gonna still do the hammer thing, but I'm gonna like try to like spool it up on the holy fire and at least like contain it in a spot.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can like it the cable bits go into the dirt in either direction, and you're able to like burn through the filament bits with the holy fire for a while. But you can see like threads in either end sort of regrowing after you do.
Do I have an idea of where they come from and where they go, Cotton Eye Joe?
I mean, best you can tell, like west.
Both ends? Or like
Well,
come
one end
from
goes
west and
and
go
and the other end either.
like Lorca or
Yeah,
Lorkish?
it goes back to the east. So, out towards the village with the cave and the kids that were being given tormenty toys.
Cool.
Towards Lorca.
Yeah, so that kind of gives me a hint on my next question, which was, where's the portal that's supporting this rod?
Yeah.
And I have a feeling it's farther west because that's where that rot ghost went.
Probably.
So, yeah, I'm going to turn this pit to ash, or to glass. I don't know if I don't have enough stuff to fill it up. I don't particularly think that'd be productive. So instead, I'm going to make a report to Fritz, and then sort of like, we need to find this portal and burn it. Not that you need to know that, but I need to say it.
Yeah.
Yorha, give me religion or history.
They're the same number.
Excellent. -1.
Actually, no. Religion's slightly better. I'm changing it. Boom.
Cool. Okay. Like there is. Do you overhear? Do you pay attention to Sinrathi's report to Fritz?
Maybe. I mean, if I was close enough while keeping an eye on Kaith doing her stuff with the hands.
Okay. Actually, Vashla, you're a good person to make the religion check, so you'd be over there, right?
I think I'd be better at history.
Okay.
Because
Good shot.
I was never really that religious myself. 16.
Nice.
So, you still got that? You've got the book, or did the book get
Yes.
taken?
No, I still have the book. The thing that got taken was
It was
a
like
little
a ring.
braid made of like
Heritage
cloak.
Squad, right?
No, like pieces of their cloaks.
Gotcha. So in the in the book that you have, there is a ritual of cleansing that was used in the past for like I'm trying to think of like what a Norse cleansing ritual might be used for, but like it's gonna be fire, it's gonna be burning stuff.
I mean, I did do a ritual or helped Sinrathi with a ritual for that forge we found, so it's probably something along those lines.
Ooh. Yep.
Yeah. So, and that is a thing that might be useful here.
So, like the entire fortress, just like same thing but larger scale.
It's possible.
Okay. Yeah, I think I attempt to do that because I if we can still have some sort of shelter for future travelers without completely rebuilding, and maybe it'll fortify against future rot assaults.
Okay.
So I'm going around the keep. I imagine that I'm doing this with Sinrathi, and I'm probably directing him in a similar way that I did when we were in the dwarf
Fortress.
Hag, and probably taking part in it myself too, since like I've done more magical and religious things since originally acquiring this book.
I think I let you take lead.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna help you, which is advantage, and I'll also give you guidance.
I don't know what I would roll for this.
Religion, Arcana.
Neither of them are great. I guess I'll do religion. So D4 and advantage. Is that right?
I guess
Yes.
it'd be-
Yeah.
15 plus 18.
Very
Seems pretty
nice.
solid.
I feel very encouraged by Sanrathi. Like, kind of, I don't know, taking on a nurturing role in the same way that Matthias did. Like, just being supportive.
Right. So, see, this is where I really wish, like, I like 15 as a number, but like on the 2d6 spectrum, I always have a hard time deciding if that's 7 to 9 or 10 plus.
18 though.
Yeah, it's 18.
For the three die. For the three.
Oh, it's 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 18.
18 feels a lot closer to 10 plus. So you're able to perform this ritual of cleansing, and for the most part of the fort, it just seems to be personally cleansing. Like, it's the sort of thing where you go through the process of doing so, and you don't immediately notice any sort of outward signs, but in the act of repeating this ritual and doing this thing, that you find solace. And this is not the first time that you've done it before, so you can feel your muscle memory sort of kicking in and taking over. And there is definitely like a feeling of if there was stress, I would give you back stress in this action. Right, you are repeating an action that's giving you I keep using the word solace. I gotta figure out a better word for that. And what you come across is that the fort itself, for the most part, is just dead earth, but this pit thing is not. And like, you're able to drive out whatever it is in the ground away from this area, and keep it from reforming here at this point.
I think another part of it is maybe centuries ago this used to be dwarven territory, and this is me reclaiming parts of the south for my people to come to later.
I like that.
I picture kind of like engraving runes and stuff on the walls and on the ground.
Well, is it something like like all things return to the earth?
Right. Yeah.
And like, since yeah,
I think I might even draw like a phoenix rising out of the ashes.
Okay. Is that more of a symbol of? I am looking at the game board on my second monitor, and it's just right here in front of me, my first one too. Is that more of a? So when you say Phoenix rising from the ashes, what is Vashla's idea of that Phoenix reborn? Like, because if it's a druid character that spends all their time hanging out with the trees, they would see it as like vines rising up out of the ground and pulling it down. Like, I imagine the muddy pit fills itself back in, right, as part of the magical equivalent of what's going on. The earth healing itself from a wound, but like,
I think it's just kind of a thing with dwarves being really sturdy. Like, we will endure and we will come back.
Okay. Yeah. So there, and part of the phoenix that you draw on the ash calcifies and becomes stone as the ritual finishes. It's sort of like not an epitaph, but like a memorial.
Yeah.
Or like a remembrance stone. Like I imagine that these things are pretty common amongst the dwarves. And you lay like the outpost to rest.
Yeah. It would be like a very, very angular statue, I suppose.
Cool.
Like kind of like a stylized art, just I guess aesthetic.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Fritz.
So while I'm talking to him, I want to figure out what sort of artisan he used to be before he lost his hands.
Stoneworker, effectively. Stonecrafter, mason, hammer and chisel sort of guy.
Okay, so with the prosthetics I'm making, I want to sort of build in some way that I can restore his ability to work on stone. So whether they are interchangeable or like Swiss Army knife. Yeah, so I'm going to see if I can incorporate that in whatever I make.
Hammer and chisel. Okay, so like built-in artisan tools, those sort of things, or
yeah, something to just give him back his ability to create.
Yeah. So like, intentionally or no, like the not having fingers is a problem. Not having a wrist is a problem. Right. So they've made it incredibly difficult to repair. So like, it's like a heroic sort of one-time craft, or like a series of lower rolls over time.
Well, I have 3 skills that sort of correspond to what I'm trying to do, and I figure I could roll all 3 and see what I come with for these hands right now.
Okay.
So I assume basic smithing is creating the structure of the hands, something that they can build on later on. Through leatherwork, some sort of system of tendons. There's a lot of 13s, and something to manipulate each of the components, and the tinkerer tools to sort of add in that fine control over the tools, so that something could be, I don't know if he's manipulating or building large scale statues or smaller things.
Okay.
So it seems kind of average except for the tinkering.
Yeah. So like you can definitely put together something that he could use to like kind of like a manual-ish process, sort of like, like one close, one open, and then like, go through and fix it with the other hand when you want to change things. And the tinkerer's tools make it so that it's like he can use one pretty well at a time. But like to get to that level of sort of fine-grained detail and stuff that you want, it's going to take like many, or at least another iteration of the process. Right. But like for being able to grab a cup and bring it to your mouth, it'll work.
Yeah. I mean, I'll let him know that these can be improved upon if he really wants to recapture the artistry of his past. He'll have to find me at the Ash Warden's main encampment, and I will see that he has the use of his hands back.
So like I imagine
right here.
I imagine they're very like minimal. There's probably just like 3 fingers and a thumb.
Yeah.
and like it's did you raise your hand or you just like like two main metal bits connected to like three fingers and a thumb sort of thing. Yeah. So it's like not gonna pass for human and sort of yeah. So like so Poe kind of like he's trying his hardest not to appear like disappointed and crushed. And says thank you. I will seek you out if I can ever find myself there.
I know this does not seem like an ideal outcome to your day, but trust me when I say your life would be far worse if you had kept those creatures on your arms. I don't know how familiar the common person is with the rot. But yeah, they probably don't have quite the extent of knowledge that we would.
Right.
So yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I think Kaith is gonna wander up and like she's probably got her head down and just looks like I don't know, like real ashamed, I think. And she comes up and she like tries to hug the guy's leg and she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know all this was gonna happen. So the stuff in those gloves was the same stuff that made me get my wings taken away, and I didn't know it at the time. So I was just trying to make sure you got through here safely, and I mean, I guess that sort of happened, but not in a great way. So I'm sorry.
I understand. They looked like strong hands. These, well, I will do what I can to continue.
And I think she's gonna like reach around in her pack and avoid grabbing the crushed gauntlet and like grab all the money she's got and hand it to him. And she's like, I know this doesn't make up for any of it, but I don't know. Maybe it can help make up the difference financially until something better comes.
I appreciate the offer, but like it's phenomenally more than he will ever see in his life, right? So he's disbelievable, right? Like it was like 8 silver would be right, like and if you're giving him gold upon gold upon gold,
it's not, I don't have a ton of money, it's like 20 gold, but you know, I'm just gonna hand it over to him.
We also don't get paid from any of our adventuring, so I mean that's why we aren't capable of showering them in level 4 adventurer wealth.
Yeah,
it probably is level 4 adventure wealth, right?
Yeah,
like, we've mark
this
a
is,
wealth box, right?
Yeah, no, this is something we can abstract,
right? Yeah, and we can talk about adventure wealth. We should talk about that between the sessions, though.
Yeah, she's gonna hand him all the stuff and like just keep apologizing, and then I think before she starts like actively crying, she's just gonna turn around and walk away. Sorry, Jordan, you were saying a thing.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't know how Kate still has money to give away because she gives it to the goblins, the people in.
She doesn't
Lorca.
anymore. I
I
was
mean,
giving away a few coins at a time, and now it's that's all of it. So I'll just have to find other crap to give people.
Like shiny rocks.
Steal things while on patrol. Ends up being like, you know, ancient artifacts. Worth, you know.
I gotta
rabbit
give you guys
bones.
some money. You gotta be starving, or you gotta be hungry for money, starving to death.
Well, I mean, you know, I think everybody else has money. I spend mine on people.
I mean, we don't, or at least I haven't got it written down anywhere.
Yeah, I'm even worse at giving you money in this campaign than I was in Star Wars.
I mean, I'm not tracking any loot at this point. I'm waiting for like my robes to turn magical when I do something cool. Is how I'm expecting loot to be handled. or like 4E inherent bonuses.
Yeah, I was just gonna go inherent bonuses because that seems rad. And also your magical people. You hear Poe say, "Thank you," like "I'm sorry too" or something as you leave. All right, you're up. And kind of like final thoughts. We're wrapping up tonight this week.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Well, there we go then. My thoughts are: did we check this person's cart at all?
Not yet.
Are they just walking off, or are they driving the cart off?
No, they're still sitting in Fritz's makeshift medical table.
Okay.
And
I'm
like
going to
throwing
go.
up every now and then.
All right, I'm going to go rustle the cart then and see if they've got any suspect things with them.
It would feel even horribler if he did. So
Okay, that's fine.
We'll leave it at.
So roll a single
and
red
burn your
die.
card. Yeah.
It was an angel of the rot all along. He's been playing us.
Mm-hmm. Causing strife. Yeah, that would be.
And take out the team.
Yeah, so that would be my concern. That and like maybe getting away from the giant burning pile of wreckage that we've left before, more people to fight show up.
Yeah, it's all like salted cod, or some sort of Atlantic fish that is cod.
Okay.
But it's all sea bounty stuff packed in barrels of salt.
Okay. And it's the kind of thing that would probably be headed back towards civilization.
Yeah.
Have we tested how rot responds to salt?
I don't know that we have, actually.
Well, I mean, if he was able to handle this, I would assume it can handle it at least somewhat.
That, and I mean, like, our characters may have, but we haven't done it on camera yet.
Yeah, we haven't looked at it specifically while we were doing something. Yeah, I think that's me. I mean, I would try to be... Yorha would be sort of addressing the situation and trying to resolve this whole thing that we've gotten ourselves into. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of revelation on my end, I guess.
Okay. All right. I think that's an excellent place to wrap for the week. You dealt with the outpost. Yeah. Was there any other thoughts before we close?
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, thank you all for watching. This has been Knights of the Ashen Empire. That D&D podcast presents Knights of the Ashen Empire. Find us on the social networks. We are That D&D podcast. Twitch, if you enjoyed us, drop us a sub. Twitter, if you like talking to us, come find us there. We're pretty amusing, I think. Yeah.
If you're watching this live, next Saturday we'll be interviewing Eric Vulgaris on our podcast, and I believe that's at 1800 Pacific, so 9 p.m. Eastern. Correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron.
Yeah, I believe it's normal time, different day.
Yeah, so that'll be Saturday evening. If you don't know who Eric Vulgaris is, he's a Twitch streamer, tabletop role-playing game designer, and all-around excellent human. So we're looking forward to that.
Yep. And you can find them at Eric Vulgaris, I believe is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't actually believe their last name is Vulgaris. I think that's a handle.
It's a good one.
It is
Also,
a really good one.
It's ERIC, not ERIK. I make those typos all the time. So, just trying
Have
to
you
help
seen
somebody.
that shitty D&D meme of like Eric with a K?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
All right.
don't Google that meme. It's terrible. We've been That
Don't.
D&D podcast. Have a great evening, everybody.
Good night, Internet.